Okay, hi, good morning everyone. Yes, I'm same thing. I'm same thing as last night. I'm not with you in person, so but I'm here with you in spirit. So, yeah, right. Without further ado, I hope you have your notes out, and I hope you have your textbooks out. Okay, but before that, um, yeah, so get your notes ready first because we're going to do a little bit of writing and do a little bit of concept and so on. All right. And today we're going to explore the very last part in chapter 4. All right. To be honest, this last part is actually the exact same thing that we've learned in this entire chapter. It's just that previously it was whole numbers. Now we have fractions, right? A lot of students, like when they think of fractions, then they worry a bit. They say too difficult, too confusing, but actually it's the same thing, right? I'm here to tell you, don't worry, all right? Just follow, and we'll see what we can do here, all right? But however, you need your trusted calculator with you at all times when you're doing fraction questions. All right, I will make this very easy for you. Okay, so now, so we're going to start off with writing the title first. So this is okay. So this is our linear expressions. We're back to expressions again, right? Linear expressions. Now the coefficients, right, is in fractions, right? Our coefficients now will be in fractions instead of a whole number. Okay. Okay. Whoa. All right. So there we go. Right. So first, some things to take note when we look at fractions. All right. Example, like one example that we have would be like, for example, n over two. All right. N over two. N over two. We actually can think of it as half n, or half times n. Alright. Then let's say if I have another one, for example, if I have the n plus 1 over 3, okay, n plus 1 over 3, it could also mean that it is 1 over 3 times of n plus 1, right? Do you see like how this, like how it shifts from being a numerator to a product? Okay, so yeah, and the denominator remains a denominator. So actually, the denominator is the number that you divide by, whereas the numerator is the one where you multiply. All right. Now, in another form that you can like look at this is when you have 1/3 times n and 1/3 times plus 1. When you expand this, you're going to get 1/3 of n plus 1/3. Okay, so if you expand, you will get this. So these three things, we call them equivalent, right? These three things are equivalent. This first one, oh, okay, this first one over here, this one, second one, and the expanded form, right? All these are equivalent. Okay, all right. So let us take a look at the one more thing before we go on. What are some of the correct ways to write fraction, and what are the wrong ways to write stuff? So first, we have things like 5 over 2n or 5n over 2, right? Both of these are the same thing, and these are the correct way to write. Okay. However, if you were to write this one, if you were to write 2.5n, is it okay? Yes, it's correct. However, if you were to write in mixed numbers, 2.5n, right? This one cannot. Okay, because we may confuse this with 2 times half times n. Alright. Now, the next one, another example would be 1 over 3n. Okay, 1 over 3n, or we can write this as n over 3. This one is okay, but however, for this, right, if we were to write in decimal, how do we express 1 over 3 in decimal form? Is it 0.33? No, technically this is 33 over 100, right? 0.333, this is 333 over 1,000. So actually, yeah, you can't get an accurate value of 1/3 without, by writing it as a decimal. So yeah, if you were to write like this, we were to say that it is not it is an incorrect way to write. if we were to use repeated recurring decimal form, not so nice also, so we try to avoid that as well. So my general advice is, whenever we do fractions, we try to stay within the fraction, we don't convert it to decimal. Alright, whenever we handle algebra, we try to use fractions. Alright, okay, so without further ado, can you please turn to your textbooks? Alright, textbooks. We are going to look at practice now 8 in page 114. Right, practice now 8 in page 114. Okay, now I hope you are already in page 114. Alright, we're going to look at practice now 8. Okay, alright, now let's look at A. Now the first example, now we have half x plus a quarter of y minus 2/5 of y minus a third of x. So yeah, as you read, you try to read it like as though as it's English. You try to understand in from an English point of view. Right, so we have our half x plus 1 over 4 or 1 over 4y minus 2 over 5y minus 1 over 3x. So now the thing is, we have x's and y's all separate. So what is the concept that we learned last time? How do we add our x's and y's? We add the like term. We add all the x together, we add all the y's together. So what we can do is, let's rearrange such that all my x's are in front, right? All my x's are in front and all my y's are behind. Okay, all my x's in front, all my y's are behind. Alright, so remember, when you adjust, it is the sign will always follow the term, because the coefficient of this is negative 1/3, the coefficient is negative 2/5, and so on. Right, so the signs will follow the terms itself. Right, now then, what is a half minus a third x? The concept that we learned in chapter 2 was to make the denominator the same. Are we going to waste time here? No, just use your calculator. Half minus 1/3. So you just use your calculator, you should be able to get 1 over 6x. Alright, next, a quarter minus 2/5 y, right? Same thing. Are we going to make it to be the same denominator? No, let's not waste time. Just take a quarter in your calculator, right? Minus 2 over 5. So I'm going to have negative 3 over 20y. Right? Can we simplify any further? Are there any more like terms to add? No more. So we just stop there. Alright? Simple as it is. Okay, so that's A. Right, let's look at B. Right, for B, now if you were to, let's read it out together. For B, we've got 1 over 8 multiplied by the entire thing, and the entire thing is multiplied by, okay, we have negative y, right, and then we have minus 3 times of 16x minus 3y. Right, now so this is our expansion concept from the previous one, 4.3. Right, so very easy. Right, so when we expand, where do we expand first? We go to the inner bracket, the bracket inside. Right, so here we've got our negative 3, multiply this in, multiply this in. Right, so what do we have? We have, now everything is the same, we just copy the rest, 1 over 8 times of negative y, and after you multiply it in, negative 3 times 16, use your calculator, negative 3 times 16 of x, we've got minus 48x. Right, then negative 3 times negative 3y, you just multiply, you get a plus 9y over here. Right, alright, so let us simplify first. Right, so 1 over 8, how many x's do I have? I have negative 48 x's. How many y's do I have? I have negative y plus 9y, so I have plus 8y over there. Alright, then the next step is 1 over 8 times of the bracket. So what do we have? We just expand this in, expand the 1 over 8 in. Alright, so 1 over 8 times negative 48. So use your calculator, you should be able to get negative 6 of x. Then 1 over 8 times 8y, we've got a plus 1y, but we're going to write it as y. Alright, so this is how we do it. The expansion is the same with fractions. It's just multiplying. So in order to help you, use your calculator. Okay? Alright, so that is practice now 8. Very, very, very easy. Don't worry too much. Alright, let's look at alright, the next part we're going to look at exercise 4C in page 116. Okay, alright. We have here exercise 4C page 116. Alright, so let me just put this here. Alright, exercise 4C page 116. Okay. Alright, so here let's look at question 2. Right, question 2 above, which I've attached here. Let's look at A, part A. Now very, 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 very easy, don't worry. Right, we have our 5A plus 4B minus 3C minus the entire thing of 2A minus 3 over 2B plus a 3 over 2C. Okay? Alright, so this is the exact same thing that we've learned so far. Alright, now the thing is in order to expand the bracket for A, in order to expand this, we will look at the negative times 2A. We're going to distribute the negative sign to 2A, distribute this to a negative 3 over 2B, and distribute this to our 3 over 2C. Right, so weird, there's so many 3 over 2. Okay, alright, so let's do this. We've got our 5A plus 4B minus 3C. Alright, so minus 2A, so I'm just going to minus 2A. I cannot forget the ones behind, so minus a negative 3 over 2B, it will be a plus 3 over 2B. Alright, then minus a positive 3 over 2C, I'm going to get a minus 3 over 2C. Alright, so with this, it's a bit annoying to see this. So if you're fast, you can just go straight to the answer. But if you really cannot, you should rearrange. Alright, try to rearrange all the apples together, all the bananas together, all the coconuts together. So how many apples do I have? I have 5 apples minus 2 apples plus 4 banana plus 3 over 2 bananas, right? Minus 3 coconuts minus 3 over 2 coconuts, alright? Okay, so 5 apple minus 2 apples, straightforward, 3 apples. Okay, the bananas, 4 banana plus 3 over 2 banana. You can use your calculator and you should express in proper form, yeah? If you use your calculator, it should be an 11 over 2 bananas. Right, last but not least, how many coconuts do I have? Minus 3 coconut at minus 3 over 2 coconut. So, so when you type into your calculator, you should get a negative 9 over 2 coconut. Right, the 9 draw longer, 9 over 2 coconut. Okay, the ABC, remember to put it in the middle of the fraction sign, right? Not on top, not below, and don't be mistaken and put it below. Right, so that's question 2A. Okay, last but not least, our very last question of the day, 2D, right? Part D. Right, D, we have our half times of the entire thing of 8x plus 10 minus 6 times of 1 minus 4x. So yes, try to understand and read it in English first. Then you try to decode it. So first, when we expand, this is the expansion question. When we expand, we look at the inner bracket first, and we look at this negative 6 times of 1, negative 6 times of negative 4x. So let's expand. We've got half times of, the rest are the same, right? Okay, I'm just going to change this bracket to around 8x plus 10, right? Minus 6 times 1, negative 6, minus 6 times minus 4x, plus a 24x. Alright, let's tidy up the inner bracket. So we've got how many x's? Alright, 8x plus 24x, then all the numbers behind. Okay, let's tidy up one more time. Okay, 8 plus 24, we've got 32x, right? 10 minus 6, we've got a plus 4. Alright, so then we have to expand with the half. So it's half times this, half times that, right? So how do we do this? Half times 32x, we've got 16x. Half times 4 would be a plus 2. Alright, so if you're not sure, use your mighty calculator. Alright, it will you should learn the concept, alright, but the calculation, you can make use of your calculator to save your brain juice. Okay, with that, you have your exit pass to do, and I hope you'll spend the time to think and try to master how to do this. It's very, very easy. Don't worry too much. Use calculator. Alright, that's all for my lesson today. Thank you and bye bye.